James Hamilton for MMA UK, joined via Skype by Chris Duncan. Thanks for giving us some time, Chris.
No problem, mate. Anytime, you know
that. So obviously we're on to talk about your upcoming fight on UFL 3 against Leandro Souza, and that's on the 4th of August. Before we get into that, I'd just like to go back to February, Bellator Dublin. Obviously you debuted in that promotion, successful debut. You went in there, won the fight impressively. So if you can just go back to that fight a wee bit for me and talk us through what that was like, debuting in Bellator, fighting such a big card out in Dublin and finishing the fight the way you did.
That was good, man. Like, don't get me wrong, like on a big stage like that, you know, I was only 3 fights into my pro career and I fought on the biggest stage in the world. But going in there, I was actually shitting myself. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I think that really motivated my training. And for that fight, obviously, money's a bit better for that, you know. So it kind of pushed me towards not pulling out. I hurt my back and I cut my eye, as you know.
Yeah.
But not so much the money, but like the stage that it was on and the home crowd, and that really made me fight to stay in the camp. And overall, I think I did have about a full week off, so 7 days in total where I didn't do anything. And that can play on somebody's mind if they're fighting. And now knowing that and knowing for my next fights, you know, if that ever happens, I can go into that was the biggest stage in the world. And I can go in and fight, you know. It's not all about knocking your pan in all the time. But hey, I say that now, but like just the other week there, I absolutely knocked my pan in just to try and make the weight because I was trying to catch it up. But I managed to catch it up, and then that's me kind of back on the level playing field now because I write down all my weight cuts, so that's me back on target. I'm actually slightly ahead of target, so we're good to go.
Yeah, and looking back, obviously your next fight's not in Bellator, but just going back to again that fight in Dublin, how much for you as a fighter do you take away from that? Because the experience you've got just fighting in that stage, because it's a big step up from where you'd been fighting before. You've fought in really good regional promotions, but it is a big jump going from a regional promotion to a top promotion like that. Is there a confidence you have now knowing that you can get in that level and you won't crumble under the pressure and you can perform even while injured and carrying some knocks?
Oh, definitely. You know, that stage, you know, like things like being on top, for instance, that was probably the show that I was quite nervous because it was one of the biggest promotions in Scotland, and I used to have to get myself worked up for that, you know. I'd get myself in a good place. Well, it's a bad place, but it's a good place if you get what I mean. And I didn't need to do that at Dublin because we did the live weigh-ins, and I'd never done anything like that before. You know, there's a big, massive crowd in front of me and stuff. So I was getting ready to go out and live weigh-in, and Sam Slater standing right by my side because they queue you up, you know. And I'm thinking, this is a bit weird, you know. I don't usually see my opponent until we're in the cage, lined up, and then obviously they call my name out, and I just got this massive rush of adrenaline. And I thought to myself when I was walking out onto that stage, I was like, I'm not going to need to get myself worked up for this fight. Like, I'm going to get that when I walk out. And you know, my training partner Scotty thought that my warm up was a bit flat compared to usual. I'm quite amped. I'm quite a emotional, quite a high pace kind of guy. I'm always doing things to the best of my ability, and he thought the workout was flat. He didn't tell me that at the time, but he thought it was flat. But in my head, obviously, I was trying to save that nervous energy for going in. And we walked out, and obviously I was the first one out. Sam Slater is the hometown boy, so I was getting booed. Walked out. Heard the crowd. I actually felt the heat from the crowd. I don't know, it was weird. It was a surreal experience. I felt the heat from the crowd. I walked in, and hold on a wee second, sorry.
That's all right, take your time, mate.
I don't know if that. So that. It's my grand. Are you for that? As I walked out, I felt the heat from the crowd, and I walked into the cage, and I was kind of doing my usual. I get myself in a kind of place, and I was bouncing up there in the spot, and then my mate Scotty, he was like leaning over the cage, like Scotty's like 5 foot fuck all, and he leaned over the cage. He's like, mate, are you listening to this? He's like, fucking enjoy this.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at him like, fucking right. And then I just got this surge of like, it's hard to explain, but just like a surge of energy through my body. And I was like, just ring that bell, let's get going. And then it took me a wee while to get into the fight because I was nervous and like, hey, that's what the lower level opponents are for. You know, Sam was the exact same record as me, 3-0 or 3-3 or whatever. 3-0. And yeah, so that's all about the experience, and I definitely did learn from that, you know, and I think I took a lot of good things, even though it was only 3 minutes into the first round. I did probably get more out of that one fight than I did any of my other fights.
It's that experience, having been to like Bellator and stuff like that, there is a much different feel to it than the regional shows. Regional shows are fantastic and they do exactly what they need to do for fighters coming through.
Yeah.
But it's just that the heat of the crowd, the noise, the lights and everything. It is. Yeah. I guess two things can happen. You can perform under those lights, or you can be like a deer in the headlights. Fortunately for you went in and, like you said, you had nerves, but you managed to shake them off and get the victory. Now, obviously, we know with your next fight on UFL that you're not fighting on Bellator at the moment anyway. Was there any level of frustration that you didn't get back on? Or
No, definitely not. Listen, if I could fight in my living room right there and it went on my Sherdog record, I wouldn't give a flying fuck. Like, I've got these dreams and admirations in my head that I know what I want, and all these wee fights here and there are going to just add up and add up and add up. You know, I'm 4-0 now. I'm going to go into this fight 5-0, and then I'm going to try and get another 2 fights at the end of the year. You know, maybe Bellator, maybe somewhere else. I don't care. It could be on top. You name it. I just need these fights. I need to win these fights in spectacular fashion. And I know where I want to be. And the UFC is a dream, man. Like, if I was to, you know, Bellator's great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking it at all. Like, if Bellator offer me a great deal, I'll obviously go with Bellator. But if the UFC wants me, and again, that's when I put my head on the pillow at night and I'm lying thinking about things. The UFC is where I want to be, and everybody around me knows that I want to be there. And I'm every day grinding. I've not had a day up. Well, that was the first holiday in 5 years that I've not actually trained for 7 days. I couldn't even remember the last time I took a couple of days off, other than me being injured, obviously. But so like getting these fights in there now is my main priority. Staying healthy and staying uninjured and getting these boys away in the first round.
And going into your next fight, obviously, when you fought Sam Slater in Bellator, you were going in sort of similar level of experience. The next fight, you're going in the UFL, you're going in against an experienced opponent in Leandro Souza. How much do you know about Leandro? And have you looked at any of his fights online or anything like that?
I tried to look for a few fights online, but you know, there's not much. There's one of them in UFL itself. I found out obviously he's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, but listen, we're doing MMA, and like, I'm a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy's worst nightmare. I can wrestle and I can fight, and like, it's the same with every fight. We go through a camp, right? Let's not get taken down here. You know what I mean? That's pretty much what it is, man. Like, get me down, I'll get back up. It's as simple as that, you know. This is MMA, and I've got a lot of training partners. I've travelled hundreds and thousands of miles. Like, I go to London most weeks. Tomorrow I'm going up to Aberdeen Combat Centre to see Paul McBain, Kieran Connor, a guy I've already fought. I've sparred with Ross Houston. They just had a massive fight on Cage Warriors. Like, I'm putting in these hours, man. Like, you don't see anybody else doing that. You don't see anybody else travelling, except the boys that are like Ross. They're travelling away, you know. They're going away to different gyms and learning and honing in on their craft. Like, on Monday, I'm away to Damien Trainers. Just get a one-on-one session and drive all the way back. Like, who the fuck does that? Nobody. I'm doing that.
I guess it's something then, all that travel you've got, and it probably helps at home that you've got Robert Whiteford trying to throw in your head as well. That probably.
Oh fuck yeah.
that probably certainly helps.
He's like, we grapple 3 times a week and try and train kind of Tuesday, Thursday, maybe a little bit of a run or S&C. He's hopefully going to get a match up soon, and then we'll get ourselves into a fight camp. And depending on what happens after this fight, UFL depends, like, obviously injury wise, because I'm going in there hell for leather, so I might get an injury. So So as soon as that's done and I'm healthy, I'll probably try and get to the American top team. I'll just spend the cash and just go for it, because like this traveling is like, it's in the bank, you know what I mean? All this stuff that I'm putting in there now, it's getting stored. It's like tucking money away.
Yeah.
You know, the exact same thing, like all this skill set stuff. You know, people are like, oh, I've had my fight, man, I'm going to have a break. Fuck that. You got to develop this ongoing skill set and get your development course. You know, it's like a constant. I'm always developing. I'm always getting better. And anybody knows that trains with me in the last year or so, I've just always grown, getting a little bit stronger, getting a little bit bigger. You know what I mean? Getting the weight cut down better. Like, I'm getting this weight cut down like fucking like nobody's business. Big shout out to my dietitian guy, the fight dietitian Jordy. He's absolutely amazing, man. Like, he's just so clued up in it. He does the practical part really well.
It's such an important part, obviously, dietary, just for recovery and things like that as well. So important for a fighter. The other thing as well is, you're saying I always find this quite interesting. You travel about and you're obviously going to go and train with guys that potentially you've never trained with before. See when you're travelling to different gyms and going in there training, is there ever that element of just a little bit of nerves going in there, because it's guys you've not trained with before? You want to make sure you show up. So it is a wee bit different when you're training back at home.
I remember the first time I went to go and spar Ross Houston. That was probably one of my biggest steps. And I was like, Adam's like, you want me to come up with you? And I was like, no, I'm all right, man. He's like, you sure? And I was like, I managed to come up there to fight this cunt. You know what I mean? It's just, my gran will kill me if she hears me swearing.
and Ross isn't exactly a small welterweight either.
No. So I just went up there and I thought to myself, you know, like I take all these things in my stride. Like, see things like Under the Spotlight, man, I feel like I thrive on that. Like, going up to his gym, sparring him, you know, like we were up there and just threw down up there, and that's putting miles in my car, you know what I mean? That's doing me good. So it was good. That I like training with other boys. It gives you that nerve. See those nerves that you get like high up in your belly? It's brilliant. I'm going sparring next week to a different gym as well, so I'll get the same. You know, I'll go in there like a fight, pretty much.
Where you're at in your career at the moment, with everything you're doing at the moment, you're obviously taking an extremely professional approach, and you seem to be doing everything the right way. When you look at Chris Duncan a year ago versus the Chris Duncan at this moment in time, how much of a progression do you see in yourself just in that year's time with the work you've put in?
Well, I feel that like it's went up really slowly and I hadn't really noticed it. And all of a sudden, when your camp starts to come together, like your weight starts to come down, you start to become a little bit more athletic, your gas tank gets a bit better, then that's when I start realising it, you know. And I think that's probably one of my best attributes, that I've not stopped training, and so I'm always getting better. And then when the weight starts to come down and I start bumping up the cardio, start doing a bit more strength and conditioning, getting the weight off, then I start seeing like, fucking hell, that's me. I'm prime, I'm firing on all cylinders. And I think that a lot of people get that, a lot of doubt in the back of their heads before they go out, because like you say, you know, like I'm not saying anybody but the gym, but sometimes in our gym, like just the amateurs, obviously, they have a fight and they fuck off for a couple of months. And hey, I used to do it too. But I always try and drum it into their heads, you know, as soon as you've had your fight, if you're not trying to battle your weight, just get back training. Just get back in and enjoy it, man. And it's the same with my clients too. My clients are like, oh, I fucking hate coming to the gym. I was like, well, go and find a sport or an activity. Like, just move a bit more, you know, enjoy it. And I love fighting. The fighting's the scary part, and but it's also the rewarding part. Like all this stuff, like dieting and, you know, sitting at night hungry. Well, I'm never really hungry, but you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. The other thing, obviously, that you've touched on a wee bit about is your weight cut is something that you feel is improving as well. That seems to be such a big factor, and it seems to be the biggest fight sometimes for a lot of fighters. What sort of changes have you made? Is it just changes in how you treat your body out of camp that's benefited you then going into the weight cut, or what sort of changes have you made there to make that cut a wee bit easier than it once was?
The only thing that's always playing in my mind is performance. So like, I'm a very, very competitive person, and see, like through the week and that, like I'll not eat certain, like for instance, Jordy is giving me like this different diets and stuff like that, you know, and he gives me choices of carbohydrates and stuff like that to eat, you know, and bread isn't on it, but I know I can eat bread if I want to, but I don't feel that gives me the right nutrients and the right amount of energy at the time to make me perform. And one of my biggest fears in life is not to be successful and not to perform.
Mm-hmm.
So anything I can do during or outside of camp will, that if I do any of that will hinder my fight, I don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
If I fuck up my weight, that's on me.
Mm-hmm.
Like this, don't take the fight if you can't make weight.
Mm-hmm.
If you feel you can't make weight and you fucked it up, that's on you. Like, there's nobody else in the cage with you, you know? Like, don't get me wrong, everybody's fucked it up. I fucked it up. I had to cut like 18 pounds one time. And
Yeah.
I'm just really, I had Robert Whiteford to help me, you know what I mean? Like, it's not fun. Like, you just got to do it.
And what's that when you just when you're talking about that cutting 18 pounds? What's that just to try and get into the mindset of what that's like when you actually have to make such a drastic cut, then have to rehydrate and get back in there? How much does that affect you going in when you actually step in that cage? And is it something that plays in your mind?
Well,
if you go back to that time you had to do that?
Well, the weight cut itself, don't get me wrong, was quite strenuous on my body. I actually had sore back and stuff like that from like sore knees and shit. But like, it's not so much the weight cut itself that fucks you up. If you don't know how to reload properly, you're not getting the nutrients. There's a science behind that, and that's why I pay the guy that I do to do it, because I'm a big lightweight. If you stand next to me, like, I'm a big lightweight. And I've got a lot of muscle mass, so I can cut a little bit more water than, like, I'm trying to think of a kind of thinner welterweight, maybe
like an 8 Diaz type body type.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're not muscle bound, so they've not got water in the muscles to lose. So they have to be a little bit, like, a bantamweight's never going to cut the same amount as I cut. They might, but it's not healthy. So, like, just make sure. I always just want to make sure I'm on target. I'm always tracking my calories and stuff like that. Jordy gives me these things, but I always track them myself and always make sure. And I'm pretty on top of my diet as well. You know, so if I'm feeling a bit fucked, I'll go and have something. But there's always room for improvement somewhere. I still haven't found the best diet yet. You know, this one's been pretty good so far, right enough.
Yep.
This time last camp, I think my girlfriend was going to rip my hair out at one point. I remember just sitting watching the telly, and she's like, "You okay?" I'm like, "Yeah." It's like thinking about
just faking. The lights are on, but nobody's home.
I know. We've got like a guilty pleasure now, so we watch like these food videos, but it's like this guy called Beard Meets Food. And he's got this big fuck off beard, and he's like smashing all his food, and it's like in his beard, and he's got like a towel, he's like rubbing his beard. It's brilliant.
I don't know why this is with fighters. It seems to be, it's almost like the average guy watches porn, fighters watch the Food Network.
Porn. I'm not fucking ready. That's the last thing that's on my mind, is thinking about having a wank of that.
No, you're trying to keep the energy in.
I know, I'm trying to keep the energy in so I can fry up something to eat it.
Aye.
Oh man.
So when did you start? When did you enter training camp? I know a lot of guys don't do training camps as such now.
Yeah.
If you're training all year round, when did you start prepping for this particular fight? At what point did you do that?
Probably about 8 weeks ago. Started cleaning up my diet. As I say, I'm quite a big lightweight. I let myself get a wee bit out of shape because I was on holiday, but as I said, like, I caught myself back up. You just got to make sacrifices. Usually I have a cheat meal every weekend. You know, I go and smashing handles and that, but this time around, for 4 weeks straight there, I just dieted solid. Obviously I had a wee treat here or there, a wee coffee, that, but managed to catch myself up now. I'm below, and had a wee cheat there on Saturday. So yeah, just start nice, and I always try and start a bit early. I never want to fuck up my weight. If you don't make weight, you don't fight. You know. So, and this fight's for a title. So the title doesn't really bother me. The fight itself means more. You know, because I know I need to get these numbers up and knock these boys out.
And again, is it just that you're going in there against a different style of opponent, obviously with that experience and the skill set he brings? Is this just again something that's going to add to your arsenal going forward?
Yeah, man, I've learned a lot. Like even just in the last 2 or 3 months, just things like, as I said, like I'm a grappler's worst nightmare. You know what I mean? Like they need to get me down. I'm always getting better. And like the level of opponents, like I've got room to develop. Like the level of opponents, like top 10 in Bellator, top 10 in the UFC. Don't get me wrong, that's a struggle at the moment. I'm not up there at the moment, and I know I'm not, but I've got room for improvement. So these fights and the lead up to it are going to be practice, if you like. I'm going to go away to ATT. I'm going to go away to Tiger Muay Thai. Like I've wrestled some of those Dagestani boys over there, man. That's fucking depressing. You know what I mean? So I know the level. I know where I need to be, and I'm not far away from it. And like anybody that's trained with me before, they know that I'm pretty switched on. So it's just a matter of time before I can quit my job. I'll never totally quit. I've got a few clients that I really, really like and look after, and I'm going to stick with them as long as they'll stay with me. To be fair, I'll just take up fighting full time.
And must be looking at like the likes of American top team getting out there. Do you feel that's an opportunity for you just to measure yourself and where you're at currently against some of the top guys in the world? Definitely.
Listen, you've got like Dustin Poirier over there. You've got Edson Barbosa. All these guys there's some Russians in that over there. Like I was training with Nordin Talib over in Tiger Muay Thai. It's great. I got so much better. Like you can't be the best guy in the room all the time. You need to put yourself in that situation, and when you put yourself in that situation, come fight night, you're going to shine because for a fact, and you have confidence in yourself. You need to believe in yourself. This is like a mental game the whole way through the camp. People like, oh, I've hurt my hand, I'm going to quit. I'm going to give up the fight and stuff like that. It's just these things you learn over time, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't remember the coach that said it, but I've heard someone saying if you're the best guy in the room, it's time to find a new room.
Yeah. Well, don't get me wrong. Like I've got like training partners that are not as good as me, but hey, I learn stuff off them all the time. There's actually a young laddie, Kier, I train with. He's 3-0 as an amateur. Like, he's always teaching me something. He's from a judo background. Like if sometimes like being like overconfident and like kind of arsey about your training, you don't grow. And we Adam Batley as well, he showed me a couple of things that he'd been working on in the pads and stuff like that. I was like, fuck's sake, man, this wee fucker's switched on.
And you've got Adams on this card as well, isn't he?
Young Adam, yeah, you'll need to watch it for him, man. He's looking fantastic, man. It's he's starting to turn into a man now. You know what I mean? Like he's obviously hit puberty a while ago, but like he's a man. You know what I mean?
A couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly. But he's turning into a man. You know what I mean? Like he's 16 years old and he took a Muay Thai fight against a 26-year-old, so 10 years of difference. Like that's a big ask from a wee guy, and that just shows you've got plenty of this.
Yeah, perfect. Listen, Chris, that's all I've got for you. Obviously, guys, check out Chris's fight on Sunday the 4th of August. That's in UFL 3 against Leandro Souza. Just before we let you go, any sponsors or anything you want to give a quick shout out to, mate?
Yeah, I've got a few folk. I've got Fallen Inch Farm, number 1. That's a butchery. I've got Flora Fusion, RG Autotech with Graham Beveridge. He's been with me since the start. Who else? I've got the Vitamin Shop, Stirling. Trying to think. I've got no, not anymore. Who else? Rev Gear have been helping me out a wee bit. It's not so much sponsorship. They appreciate me. They give me a couple of pairs of gloves. Just like there you go, as a wee backhand, and I really, really like that. I've got RLC Bus, RLC Limited. It's a bus company, so they're going to put on a bus back and forth from my fights. And one of my long-term friends, Blair Craig, he's got a plumbing and heating business. He's came on board for this camp, and all these guys have a massive part of my camp. Like things like food and stuff like that. recovery things for like your floor fusions, massive. Oh, and I got this as well. I'll count this as sponsorship from Kenny. He said to me that my interviews are pish because my phone keeps wobbling all over the joint, so I've got a wee tripod. So thanks, Kenny.
Well,
he also does my NLP as well. So that's neurological linguistic programming. It's all about looking after your head, make sure you're not breaking down and like, you know, talking yourself out the fight, you know, because like throughout you have more bad days and you have good days. So just having a good mentality helps you in your fighting.
Absolutely. And MMA UK would like to thank Kenny as well for presenting us with this nice steady interview. No wobbly cameras.
I'm trying to think, I better not post up it's called Bright, so.
Oh, there we go. Bright stand for future fighters that are coming on. Get yourself a stand. Well, listen, Chris, thanks very much for giving us some time, and obviously, best of luck on August the 4th, mate.
Thank you, mate. Cheers. I'm sure I'll see you again soon.
I'll see you again soon, mate. Cheers.
Perfect, buddy.